Every once in a while, a product comes along that solves a pesky problem that plagues performers and event professionals everywhere. And today, we're talking about low microphone gain. You've probably experienced a situation, if you're an event professional or a musician, where you've plugged in a microphone and you just can't get enough level into the mixer. Whether the microphone is very, very low output or the mixer gain stage does not have enough juice to lift the signal up. When you end up cranking that knob, you get a ton of noise floor and it just does not sound good. The Samson HighRise microphone booster aims to solve that problem with an active microphone booster that gives you up to 30 dB of signal gain for any dynamic or ribbon microphone. On top of that, today we're also looking at Samson's Q9X. We're going to put this HighRise unit to the test with the Q9X and you will get to hear the results. Let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Phase Reviews YouTube channel. My name is Jordan. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back as always. Like I mentioned, we have the Samson HighRise microphone booster and the Samson Q9X broadcast microphone on the table. We're going to unbox them, show you what comes in the packaging, give you a demo of their features and talk about important specs. And then at the end, we'll wrap things up with some pros and some cons. Now, before we dive into that, make sure that you like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss any content coming in the future. Enough about that though, let's dive into looking at these awesome Samson products. While the HighRise microphone booster is the star of today's video, we're going to kick things off with the Q9X just because I want to switch the audio over to this microphone so that you can hear it for yourself. We'll do that right now. 3, 2, 1. And now you're hearing the audio from the Samson Q9X into my Mackie DLZ recording center. And this is set it flat. I'm not making any adjustments to the microphone, but we'll talk about the different parameters that we can adjust with this in just a moment. Now, this is the box that it comes in. There's not much of an unboxing because inside you'll just find the microphone itself and a couple of product manuals, warranty cards, that kind of stuff. I'll pull those out so you can see it. It is double packaged, double boxed, comes to us very nicely wrapped, and I'm super impressed with the protection this has. There is our manual right there. We also have a small little, let's see, this is a QR code just to kind of get on Samson's story or let them know what you think of the product. And that's it. There's no microphone stand in the package. I've got this set up on a boom arm that I already owned. So keep that in mind. If you do buy this microphone, you will have to get your own stand or boom arm to support it. Now, a couple important specs. This is a microphone. It's a broadcast microphone, so you can absolutely use it like I am for speech applications, whether that's a podcast or live streaming or any sort of content creation. You could also use this in a music or instrumentation setting. This can support up to 140 dB, over 140 dB max SPL. So any amplifier or a drum set or anything like that, this could technically record it. It has a 50 hertz to 20 kilohertz response. It's a cardioid pickup pattern. It's a dynamic microphone, so you don't need phantom power. And it has an impedance, of 250 ohms. Sensitivity is negative 57 dBV/PA. I'll be honest, that's for you microphone geeks out there because I don't know much about that spec. But regardless, you're hearing my voice through this. I'm 5 or 6 inches away from the microphone right now, again, running into the DLZ with no effects applied. Now, the microphone itself is extremely well built. It's got a metal body. It's got a built-in yoke for mounting this with a little metal collar to screw onto your standard microphone-sized mounting bolt. As far as controls on the microphone itself, there's just a single switch on the back which adds a mid boost if you want to emphasize the vocal range of the microphone. Mine is switched off right now, but I can actually toggle that on. Now you're hearing the mid boost switch in the active position. This is going to emphasize those mid frequencies for vocal clarity, and I'll switch that back off. And now we're back down to the flat EQ. So that's the Samson Q9X dynamic broadcast microphone. I think it sounds fantastic, definitely worthy of podcast and content creation, live streaming, whatever you want to do, this microphone can do it. But let's talk about the star of the show, the Samson HighRise. Now, why would someone need this? Like I mentioned in the introduction, sometimes we find ourselves in scenarios where our microphone just does not put out enough signal for the mixer that we're using, or vice versa, the mixer does not have enough gain on the input to support the microphone that it's paired with. Most of the time, you'll be out of luck. You'll have to crank up the level, and you're going to get noise for. You're going to hear that kind of that low-level rushing noise that we get from electrical electrons flowing through a circuit, and it does not sound good. So this HighRise claims to add 20 or 30 dB of clean, noise-free gain to a microphone, and we'll test that right now. Now, opening up the box, this is a pretty heavy package for how small it is, and that's because the actual HighRise unit is all metal. It feels super nice in the hand. I think this is tour ready or gig ready. You could absolutely throw this in your box or bag of equipment, take it with you from event to event, and it's going to stand up to the abuse. On the bottom is a little bit of foam to keep it from sliding around on whatever surface you have it set on. There's an XLR input and an XLR output. And then on the side, we have 2 toggle switches. Those are low cut, 0 or off, and 120 hertz. So if you want to add a low cut, so your bass frequencies are not interfering, you don't get rumble or handling noise or less of that, you can absolutely cycle that on. And then the other 3-way toggle switch is for our boost setting. So in the middle, we have the standard plus 20 dB of gain. If you click that up, you get 30 dB of gain, and if you flick that down all the way, you get 20 with a high frequency lift, so some emphasis in the treble frequencies. Also in the box is a small user manual quick start guide that kind of points out the different features, but other than that, this is what you see is what you get. So we're going to test this. I set up the level for the Q9X in the DLZ already. It's at, let me pull it up here. This channel is at plus 57 dB of gain. So that was automatically set by the mixer when I turned it on. If I were to crank the gain down, my voice would fade pretty quickly. It needed quite a bit of gain to amplify into this mixer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this from 57, plus 57 down to plus 37, and I will insert this into the signal chain. So you're going to plug your microphone into the HighRise, and then the HighRise with a different XLR into your mixer. I will turn the gain down and I'll flick the switch, and we will see how close the level gets to the original level set on my mixer. All right, so now you're hearing my voice through both the Q9X and the HighRise active mic booster. I have the channel lowered 20 dB exactly so that you can hear the impact and how close the level is to the original. I haven't made any other changes in the level faders or the master volume. So from what I'm seeing visually, I'll hear this after the fact, it looks fantastic. Actually, let me just throw on my headphones and I can take a listen right now. All right, there we go. And the first thing that I'm hearing is, yeah, there's really not a lot of noise floor. And the way that it can do this so effectively is this is a powered unit, but you're not going to find any battery compartment or power cable on this. It actually utilizes the power from the phantom output of the mixer. Phantom power usually powers condenser microphones, allows their signal to come up to an appropriate level. And so by sending phantom power to this unit, I had to activate it in my mixer. There's enough gain to hear this microphone with 20 dBs of added level. Really, really neat. Now I can toggle this up to 30, but I'm gonna have to go back to my channel and lower that another 10 dB. Take that. And now you're hearing it with the plus 30. Now I'm gonna be honest, the plus 30, I think it's trying really hard, and for some reason I'm getting a lot of fuzz. I'm not sure why that is. The 20 works fine. I'm gonna put that back down to 20. Okay, we're back down to 20 now, and we're not hearing that. I'm not sure why the plus 30 has that added, I don't know, the noise right there. That 10 dB seems to make a big difference, but the 20 is rock solid. The last one is the 20 dB with the high frequency lift. If I turn that on, so now you're hearing more of the treble, and that's, wow, readily apparent in my earphones. Definitely adds a lot of high end to the signal. I prefer a warmer tone, so I'm going to flip that back to the regular plus dB. That sounds great to me. So, in summary, the Samson HighRise active mono microphone gain booster adds 20 dB to your microphone signal very, very cleanly, utilizing the phantom power of your mixer. It's very, very well built, and at the 20 dB setting, it sounds really, really good. Now, again, if I try and lower the dB on my mic or my mixer 10 and turn on the 30, that does not sound as good. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's because this microphone does not need 30 dB of input, but the 20, switching back to that, there we go, back on the 20, that sounds phenomenal. Okay, so a good tool to have in your performance bag or in your studio if you need it. I think we, may have to plug into a house system sometime or need to utilize a mixer we're not familiar with, and just having this on hand avoids any emergencies. The Q9X by itself sounds fantastic, would do great in a podcast or live streaming setting, and all in all, both really quality, well-made, metal-built products from Samson. So let me know what you think down in the comments. Make sure that you like the video, and if you want to grab these for yourself, I'll include links below so you can go read more about them and purchase if you want to. I'd also appreciate you to subscribing and ringing the notification bell so that you don't miss any more videos coming down the pipeline. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.